I've mentioned before that dog training is an unregulated field. Anybody can go out, print up business cards, and start training dogs regardless of their qualifications.
I could be a mess, stressed in yesterday. He don't care less, he sees me anyway. Yeah, he sees me anyway. My dog thinks I'm great, he thinks I'm number one. He never hates, even when I'm done.
Welcome to this episode of Dog Leads. I'm your host, Steve Bishop. I'm a certified dog trainer. I've been training professionally for about 15 years. I am a member of the Pet Professional Guild, a Family Paws parent educator, and I hold a BA in psychology with a minor in sociology. If you have any questions or you would like to hear me talk about a specific topic, you can leave a message in the comments. Or you can email me at bishopsgatetraining@gmail.com.
This episode is brought to you by Dogs and Storks, presented by Steve Bishop. The presentation will be on December 13th and repeated February 7th. Advanced registration is required. The link is in the description. If you are pregnant or planning to become pregnant, this program sets the groundwork for success through education before baby arrives. The goal of Dogs and Storks is to help expecting families learn how to set their dog and baby up for success through education and preparation.
So I get asked about this every once in a while, but it's become more frequent of late. I've had a few people come to me with this question about becoming a dog trainer. So I talked in the first episode about my path to becoming a dog trainer. One of the things I decided to do was take a course, so I had that background before I actually started working with dogs. So I wanted to mention a couple of these organizations. Of course, the one I chose was Companion Animal Sciences Institute. It's very well regarded, and the courses give CEUs to many of the organizations such as APDT and the PPG. Heavily steeped in psychology, particularly the training certification, and I would put it against any Psychology 101 course. I loved it so much that when I went back to school, I switched my major from fine arts to psychology and graduated with a BA in psychology and a minor in sociology. Another option, Karen Pryor is the person who brought clicker training from working with aquatic mammals to dog training. She's a pioneer in the field, highly regarded. Her graduates are passionate about the field and very knowledgeable. Most of my go-to people are graduates from Karen Pryor Academy. And then another one I'm not as familiar with, but I've been seeing a lot of really competent trainers come out of the Victoria Stilwell Dog Training School. I don't know much about it myself, but the people I've been meeting have been very knowledgeable and very competent, so that would be another one that's worth checking out. Of course, there's several other schools that I could recommend. I know a lot of people that have been starting up training schools, but those are probably my top two, and then another one that I've just been really impressed with. The next step would be to find a mentor. I talk about how to find a dog trainer or what to look for in a dog trainer in episode 6, so that should give you an idea of what to look for when you start looking for a mentor, so I won't rehash all of that. But you want to get that hands-on experience with a competent trainer who can guide you through the whole process of setting up a class and how to deal with those unexpected behaviors that arise with every dog. So go through that mentoring process. I went through a year where I worked with 6 different trainers in 7 different classes, everything from adult dogs to puppies, the whole gambit, before I was actually able to take over a class of my own. So it really gave me that confidence to set the class up. And even then, I stumbled a little bit. There were some things I did in those first few classes that I don't do now, but at least I got the behaviors across and taught how to train those behaviors in our dogs that we were looking for. Another part of becoming a dog trainer, everyone tends to think dog training is about playing with puppies all day. I probably spend 5 times more studying than hands-on training. So plan on doing a lot of reading. I'm one of those science nerds. I am happy to sit down with a published peer-reviewed 200-page paper and read through that and then see how I can apply that to my dog training. Not everybody enjoys that, but some of the things you do want to read, the top of everybody's list probably is Don't Shoot the Dog by Karen Pryor. It's one of the best books out there. Another one is The Culture Clash by Gene Donaldson. And then I would recommend Risa Van Fleet came out with a book a couple of years ago called The Human Half of Dog Training, and it's how to apply these positive or reward-based behaviors to your clients. I don't want to mention names, but I have seen some dog trainers where they're great with the dogs, but you put them with people and they almost instantly just blow up and snap at them and denigrate them. And you have to like people as much as you do dogs, or you're not going to do well in the industry. And Risa's book really helps with that. So lastly, Patricia McConnell came out with 2 books, The Other End of the Leash and For the Love of a Dog, which I've mentioned before. She has a way of talking about science and putting it into easily understood language. She's also my all-time favorite trainer, but these books talk about how dogs think and their emotional capacity and how it relates to humans, how it's similar and how it's different. And they're just really easy to read, but very, very informative. And I mentioned in another episode, For the Love of a Dog is one of my all-time favorite books, bar none. All of these books are available on Dogwise, and I will leave a link to that in the description along with a few other things I mentioned in this particular episode. One of the biggest hurdles that I see is a lack of confidence when working with people. I suffer from imposter syndrome every single class and every single client I go to, but I still do it. They have come to me for information that they don't have. And so that is enough to give me the confidence to go ahead with the training clients and presentations that I do and those types of things. I love teaching, and I tell my clients a lot of the time, if I'm not getting a behavior I want from the dog, my first question is, what am I doing that the dog is not understanding? And it's the same thing with my clients. If they aren't getting what I'm trying to teach them, what can I do differently to help them understand? So this is a short one, but hopefully that gives you a place to start if you're interested in becoming a dog trainer. I want to thank you for joining me. If you have comments or questions, things you'd like to hear me talk about, leave a comment, or you can email me at bishopsgatetraining@gmail.com.